I love being Filipino. I love the food, the community, the history, but that was not always the case. I was raised in a Filipino American household. I was never taught our traditions, I was never taught our language, I was never taught our history. It wasn't until Christmas Eve of 2018 when my Lola spoke for the first time in her near 50 years of being in America, her immigration story. She told me her father was murdered in cold blood by the Japanese. He was coming out of church in Pampanga. She told me my Lolo's dad and brother were shot and killed by the Japanese as well. They found out some information they weren't supposed to know. But see, this was not common knowledge for me. I was never taught about the Philippines. But because of the Eurocentric education which we live under, my people's history becomes another Americanized mystery. Our U.S. history books go into the gory details of Pearl Harbor, but they completely neglect to mention how the Japanese occupied my country. If we're lucky enough to have a paragraph on a page about us, our story is told through American eyes. They may talk a little bit about General MacArthur, but when do they ever talk about the Bataan Death March or the POW camps? This is the education which I received when I was in high school. Americanized versions of world events. Though they may not intend to do so, I'm an exhibit A of the harm it causes. I'm a girl who knows nothing about where she comes from. For years, I was content with knowing little. Little about my culture, little about my history, little about myself. But over the last 2 years, my identity has shifted. I grew tired of other people telling my story. I grew tired of not knowing who I am. But the time has finally come for me to tell my story, my history with my voice. I gather as much information as I can. I pursue every opportunity I can to learn more about who I am and to learn more about where I come from. And I know I may not know much, but I stand here with my feet on the ground and my head held high. I am Filipino and I am proud. So, #Pinay Pride.